Everyone, and welcome to this lesson. In this particular lesson, we are going to be learning 25 awesome words and idioms that are related to travel, holiday, vacation, these kind of areas. Okay, so this is a common topic in your IELTS test, and it would be really nice if you can build these 25 words into your vocabulary list. Let's see these words. Now, the very first one is expedition. What's an expedition? Now, an expedition is a journey that is undertaken with an aim to explore or research. Okay, so as you can see, there is a specific objective to this journey. All right, so look at this sentence. We went on an expedition to the forests of Kerala during college to study the wildlife there. So what's the objective? To study the wildlife. Okay, so therefore I would call it an expedition. I would not maybe call it a tour. I would not call it a journey. But because I'm calling it an expedition, there is a specific objective. Yes, clear? Let's move to the next one. The next one is trek. Okay, now what's a trek? A trek is usually a journey that is undertaken on foot, usually in mountainous areas. Okay, so check this sentence. I always wanted to go on a trek to the hills near Shimla. Okay, so hills, so you're going to trek there, but never got an opportunity to do so. So if you get any question around holidays, you can always say that I wanted to go on a trek to the hills near Shimla. Yeah? Alright, now let's see the next one. The next one is excursion. Now there are subtle differences among each of these words. Okay, let's see. Excursion. Now excursion is a short trip. Now this is usually undertaken as a leisure activity. So look at this sentence. My school organized an excursion, so it's a short leisure activity, okay, to the nearby zoo when I was in 5th standard. So probably you came back the same day. Alright, so it was not an overnight journey maybe. Alright, so therefore you call it an excursion. Next is an outing. An outing is again a short pleasure trip. We went on an outing to Rishikonda beach, which was just a few kilometers away from the hotel we were staying in. Okay, so probably you went there and then came back soon. Alright, so that's called an outing. Right. The next one is commute. A commute is basically a journey of some distance, okay, from one point to another point, a short journey. Usually this is used for work, okay, so look at this. During my commute to work or during my commute to office, I usually read a magazine, okay. You can also use this as a verb, as an action word. I commuted from my home to office via local train regularly. Okay, I commuted means you traveled, alright, but this is a short distance from one point to another point. Okay. The next word is pilgrimage. Now, what's a pilgrimage? A pilgrimage is also a journey with an objective to go to a sacred place or a religious place. Look at this sentence. I went on a pilgrimage to Sabarimala, an auspicious temple in the state of Kerala. Okay, so I'm talking about a sacred place, an auspicious, a religious place, right? Sabarimala. So I would say pilgrimage. I would not call it an outing. I would not call it a trek, but I would call it a pilgrimage. Now, next one. Traverse. What is traverse? Now, traverse is a verb that means to travel across or travel through. Look at this sentence. We traversed many isolated villages on our journey to Spiti Valley. What does this mean? This means that we crossed many isolated villages on our journey to Spiti Valley. Next word is descend. There is also a noun form that is descent. We'll discuss both of them. Descend means downward movement or downward sloping. Look at this sentence. I was full of fear when the cable car descended fast. Okay, so when the cable car moved downwards fast. But my father held my hand reassuringly. Okay, so my father comforted me because I was full of fear. Okay, you can also use the noun form. You can say, as the aircraft began its descent, means as it began its downward movement, I felt a bit sick. Yes, simple. Let's move. This is interesting. Meander. Okay, it's called meander. This is a verb. Now, the meaning of meander is to wander at random without any specific goal. Okay, so we saw a few words where we had a specific goal, right? We had something called a trek, we had something called pilgrimage, right? Where we had a specific objective. But when I say meander, I mean that I am simply wandering around without any specific objective. Look at this sentence. Some kids were meandering at random on the streets of the village we were passing by. It was such a joy to watch their simple lifestyle. Okay, meandering. Okay, so they were just walking around, playing around, running here and there. Okay, now the next word, itinerary. Okay, itinerary. Now there are two ways of pronouncing this. In the British style, you can simply say itinerary. Okay, Americans usually say this as itinerary. Okay, so itinerary. All right, the British say this as itinerary. So you can stick to either one. Now this is a noun, and this means a planned journey. Look at this. My vacation to Shimla was well planned. In fact, the itinerary even included visits to the local chocolate shops. In fact, the itinerary even included, which means the plan, okay, the detailed plan even included visits to local chocolate shops. Next one, get along. Now this is a phrasal verb. Okay, now a phrasal verb is a set of words that don't make exact literal sense, but because of usage, it has a particular meaning. Now, get along means to interact in a friendly manner. Look at this sentence. As I got onto the train, I met a group of youngsters with whom I interacted and got along pretty well, which means I interacted well. I could move along with them. I could move around with them in a friendly manner. Okay, let's go. Stroll. A stroll is a noun and it means to walk in a leisurely way. Look at this sentence. I took a stroll on the streets of Paris after having dinner. Okay, it's very similar to saying I took a walk on the streets of Paris. Now, walk can also mean a fitness activity, right? You can also say that I go on walks early in the morning, all right? But when I say stroll, I'm just doing it for leisure, okay? I'm just going to relax, all right? I don't have a fitness objective in mind. Next is sightseeing. This is a word that you might have definitely come across. This is a noun, and this means it's an activity of visiting places of interest in a particular area, right? So if you say, I'm going sightseeing to the northern part of India, then your itinerary would definitely include the Taj Mahal, the Qutub Minar, and so on. Okay, so look at this sentence. We went sightseeing in Delhi, where we saw several historical monuments. Okay, all right. So now let's see the next word, hospitality. Now, hospitality means a friendly, warm reception of guests or visitors. Okay, so look at this example. The hospitality of the locals in Nepal was overwhelming. Okay, so the warm, friendly reception of the locals in Nepal, so the way they probably greeted you, the way they probably treated you, and everything that they arranged for you was extremely nice. Okay, now let's see navigate. Navigate is a verb and it means to travel over a stretch of land or water with difficulty. Okay, now it's also used metaphorically to travel over difficult situations. So look at this sentence. We navigated up the hill with great difficulty. Okay, so you somehow made your way up the hill. So there were maybe a lot of stones, the path was not clear, it was too steep maybe. Okay, but with great difficulty you navigated up the hill. Right. Next one is layover. Now all those who have done international travel would be familiar with this word. Layover is a period of waiting before moving further to the next part of the journey. Okay, so look at this sentence. I have a 2-hour layover at Dubai before my next flight to New York. Okay, so you have to wait for 2 hours at Dubai, okay, before your next flight. So that's called layover. Next, Globetrotter. What's a Globetrotter? Globetrotter is a noun and it refers to a person who travels extensively. Okay, the word itself gives you a hint, right? Globetrotter. Look at this sentence. Simon is a globetrotter, okay, which means he likes to travel extensively and does not stay in a place for more than a week. So he's a globetrotter, he keeps traveling. Next is overseas. You might have heard of this word, but maybe the meaning was not exactly clear. Now, overseas is an adverb. It involves traveling to another country, but by crossing seas or oceans. Okay, that's why overseas. So if you're traveling from India to Brazil, yes, overseas. India to US, overseas. India to Nepal, India to Bangladesh, no, not overseas. Okay. Now, look at this sentence. Though I stay in India, I travel overseas once a month for work, with my usual destination being Brazil. So I say overseas because I have to cross seas and reach Brazil. A similar word is abroad. Now, what does abroad mean? The word abroad means traveling to another country, but it need not necessarily involve crossing seas or oceans. So if I say that I travel abroad regularly, my usual destination is Nepal, Okay, so that's okay, because from India to Nepal, I don't have to cross seas, right? So I would simply say abroad. I don't have to use the word overseas. Let's go to the next word, picturesque. The word picturesque means something that is visually attractive, okay? Something that is very attractive to see, usually used to describe places. The view from atop the hill was picturesque. So when you go on top of the hill and then you see the entire city or the town, the view was picturesque. It was beautiful, okay? The next word is quaint. It's a very interesting word. Quaint means something that is old-fashioned but still attractive, okay? So probably you can talk about the architecture, the way the streets are designed, the way the city is designed. It can be old-fashioned, but it is attractive. Look at this sentence. Kolkata is a quaint city in eastern India, known for its heritage and British architecture. So, although the British stopped ruling India in 1947, Kolkata still has a lot of British architecture there. Okay, so it's old-fashioned, but still it's attractive. So you would say Kolkata is a quaint city. Okay, next is breathtaking. Now, breathtaking is an adjective that is used in the context to describe something that is so amazing that it takes one's breath away. Okay, so if you say the view atop the hill was breathtaking, all right, so if you're on top of the hill and the view is so amazing that it almost took your breath away, okay, it was that nice. All right, so in that context, you will use breathtaking. The next one is mesmerizing. Mesmerizing means to capture one's attention completely, okay, almost as if by magic, okay. So the view atop the hill was mesmerizing. So you stood on top of the hill, you saw the entire view, and you were so captivated by it, so amazed by it, okay, which means you were mesmerized by it, okay, and you couldn't take your eyes off. The next word is run errands. Now this is an idiom, a very interesting idiom, okay. Running errands refers to going on short trips, usually to complete some basic household business activities, right? So does your mother tell you to buy maybe a packet of sugar, a packet of salt, and then you quickly go out and buy that and come back home? What did you do? You ran errands, okay? Did you quickly take out some clothes and give it to the laundry guy and then come back home? You again ran errands, okay? So look at this example, one more. I usually run errands on Sunday afternoon, but I get free by 5 p.m. So if the question is, what do you do during the weekends? Well, my weekends are usually occupied with running errands, okay? Doing these short trips to complete basic household activities. Next, living out of a suitcase, a very interesting idiom. Living out of a suitcase means to travel often and not be able to be at home or base. So basically, all your items are in the suitcase and you're simply taking your clothes out of that and then putting it back in. So you're living out of a suitcase, okay? You don't have a proper home to be in, okay? So look at this sentence. Rakesh has been traveling across the globe and has been living out of a suitcase for the past 6 months. So this simply means that Rakesh has not been able to come back home at all, okay? So he is living out of a suitcase, traveling often. Another interesting idiom is get itchy feet. Getting itchy feet means to get a strong urge to move or travel from place to place. So did you ever have that strong urge to travel? Maybe you were in one location for 2-3 months, you hadn't traveled anywhere, and then you suddenly had the strong urge to travel. Now, if that's happened to you, maybe you got itchy feet. Look at this sentence. Rohit had a comfortable job, but he got itchy feet and became a travel guide. Okay. Now, these are some of our success stories that I wanted to show you. All kinds of students here, academic, GT, 8777 aspirants, as you can see here, with 8, 9, 7, 8.5. Another beautiful success story with 9, 8, 7.5, 8. We've also had some interviews of students that you should definitely see so that you can learn as to what they did, what worked for them, and maybe the same strategies can work for you as well. So look at some of our students whom we have interviewed. All these are up on our YouTube channel. So do check them out and do learn from them. Okay. If you wish to also join the Gold program like all these other students did and got their scores, you can do so as well. All you have to do is reach out to us on call or on WhatsApp preferably, and I will be speaking to you directly and I will be guiding you. Okay. In the meantime, do like the video, do comment if you have any queries, do subscribe to the channel so that each time we bring these videos for you, you will be getting alerts. All right. And if you have any queries regarding the Gold program and if you want to join our advanced program and take your preparation to the next level and clear this IELTS, you're most welcome to reach out to me here. Okay. All the best. Bye-bye. Keep practicing.